Okay, we're going to clean some rocks here. Actually, this is called, I believe it's called burnishing. But you can see that's got like powder on it. It's from the borax. So we're going to take our brush right here. Whoops, too close. And run it across there with just a little bit of water. Gotta get that powder off of there, both sides. And take, this is just one of them dish scrubbers. And I like the head on it like that because you can stick your finger in there and have something to scrub with. And we'll get through here, and then I'll take a microfiber rag and wipe it off. And some of these you could see when I wipe it off, you'll see little spots where it's getting luster on it. Some you can see it, some you can't. Some you gotta move the rock around in the gem. Some people do this, some don't. I just have better luck doing it this way. And sometimes these little pits and holes, I'll take an old toothbrush and scrub with a toothbrush. That way water gets in there, because you don't want to leave the grit in them holes, especially when you get to the polish, because the polish, if you leave it in there and it dries, I've seen it on videos where it cracks the rock in half. And so we don't want to go through all this hard work and then have something simple like that crack a rock in half. And yeah, it's a lot of work, but when it gets done, it's a beautiful thing. And I stopped at, getting ready to do another set of rocks through step one, and I always do them. Some people do the cleaning after the stages. I sometimes do it before and after. I know it's extra, but it's only 2 hours, 2 hours at a time, you know. You do it for 2 hours. See, I was told to just put the borax in there and put the grit in there. When you do that, that will froth up and cause you all kinds of problems. So I would rather put the borax in, let it go for a couple hours, and then add the grit a little at a time. well, little. You're supposed to use a teaspoon per pound of rock, and that will hold 4 pounds. But if I do 4 teaspoons of grit right off, the grit goes to the bottom, the rocks sink, and you got problems. So I would just as soon alleviate those kind of problems. And then this goes in there. And then we will go on to the next one. I got a couple lined up here. And I thought that was really kind of pretty. It's like a tan colored rock with them white spots. And I thought that was pretty. And that ain't much of a rock there, so that goes right in. And then this one, these I have a really hard time getting a polish on. I have to do extra work to them every time. I don't know why that is. Some people say just put it in the polisher and let it go on speed 2 for a week. Speed 2 for a week seems excessive because my tumbler has 4 speeds. 1 is really slow, 2 is kind of moderate, 3 is a little bit fast, and 4 is really fast. And 4 on this cleaning cycle, if I put it up on 4, it will just go what I call a runaway train. It'll go buzz and then stop. And this is not cleaning up very well. So we will put that one off to the side because that's not cleaning up very well. Sometimes you have to take them, even though they're already through step 1, sometimes you got to put them through step 1 again. It's just the way it goes. And what I like to do is the speed number 2 for 2 days, but I will check it once a day. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that pretty? And there that goes. And we'll do a couple more. We'll get them out here so I don't have so far to reach. I'm looking for this one particular rock that was really pretty. We'll get to it. We will get to it. See, these are just kind of not really all that much to write home about. Black and brown with some, looks like maybe some green in it. It's kind of like a reddish brown. Might be some jasper. What do you think? What do y'all think? And of course, I appreciate comments, any suggestions. We'll take I got two different toothbrushes I use. One has had grit in it and one hasn't. But you can always tell what a rock will look like polished when you get it wet, for the most part. Because when they're dry, they get really bland looking. And there's a spot right there I gotta get. I have to tilt this so I can see where the luster is. This lighting in here isn't the best. We're getting ready to switch rooms. And then my spare room will be my rock room. Not so sure that that will have the best lighting, but it's a smaller room, less distractions. Now, this is where I wanted to show you guys. See, this is all the borax caked on there. And for this, I have to take this bigger brush and get a little bit of water on it. And that comes right off. And of course you want to do all sides. I started doing this because my one granddaughter likes rocks. Well, I did it when I was a kid, but driving a truck, you can't really polish rocks when you drive a truck when you're going coast to coast all the time. At least it's not really feasible, is it? And that is going to be pretty, ain't it? And that is just the green coming off of the scrubby. And we will take care of that in just a second. And put in some water. And voila. Now this one here, this is a piece of petrified wood, but it's in the shape of an arrow. See that? I found that down by the riverbank. And I did this a little bit earlier, but I wanted to show you guys how this petrified wood, when it dries, is really gorgeous. Let's see, all them, where them lines are, when that dries, that'll be like a tan color. And then you'll have the darker brown in the background. And we got to use this brush here. We will dry this off, and I'll sit this on the edge so that you guys can see it as it dries, how it changes, completely changes color. I think that petrified wood is just so cool. See, it was a piece of wood that got heated up, and then the sediment got in there, and as it dried, it hardened. We'll set that right there so that you guys can watch that dry. I know that old thing about watching paint dry, right? See how that completely changed? When it was dry, it was all pale looking, right? And I live in Miles City, Montana. And where I live a mile from the Yellowstone River. The Yellowstone River is one of the best known places for Montana moss agate. Just very abundant around here. And there's also pockets of jasper over there. It gets warmer weather. We'll do an outing, and we'll take the rock hounding tools, and I have to take a chair, sit in a chair, and the riverbed is just full of rocks and agates and different kind of stuff. But that'll be a fun trip for us. That one and this one, and I have a bit of a cold, so there's that. We covered all the bases, right? But see how that changed? That completely changed from that light tan to that medium brownish tan. I see the one that I want to show y'all next. Now this one, this is a unique rock right here. Look, is it this one? No, it's not this one. Where's that one at? Right here. I think I found it. We'll find it. Set some up here. There's one that has a shimmer of silver in it. It's kind of a half round. Anyhow, I digress. Let's see how that's all getting dull. And look at how that changes. I know these rock cleaning videos are kind of boring, but it's important to show what the rock will look like polished, because when it's wet and glistening, that's what it'll look like when it's polished. I'd like to find that one piece of rock in here. We'll get through them. I digress. I digress. You gotta do all angles, because yeah, I can take it and put it in the tumbler and put some borax in it and it'll clean it, but it won't get that film off the outside. You have to take a brush or something and scrub it to get the film off. Having it cold sucks, don't it? But it's part of life. And I have to get the angle just right on the light so I can see that there's no, see that, not only the borax, but the grit will leave a bit of a film on it. And if you don't get that film off of there when you go the next step, then you have to leave it on the next step just a little bit longer. And I'm not trying to tell you to take shortcuts. I'm just saying don't add to your problems, if you know what I mean. Don't add to your problems. See, sometimes we cut on the saw, sometimes we run the tumbler. One of these days I'll do a video on how I load my tumbler, because each person that does rock tumbling does it a little bit different. And if I can help you guys out, I'd like to help you guys out. See, with that being a 4-pound tumbler, I was told I could put 3 pounds of rock in it. I cannot. I like that tumbler. It does a really good job. But I have to see, it's a 4-pound tumbler, so, 3 pounds would be about 2/3 full. If I do it 2/3 full, I have all kinds of problems. So what I do is I do it half full, and I shake it just a little bit, and that way it's all settled out. And then I'll take one rock out of the edge and I'll pour my water in so I can see that the water is below the rock line. Just little things, that new people may not know how to do. It's all a process. It's a process. And this is just an old toothbrush that I rinsed out. Why throw it out if you can use it for something else? Now, you might wonder why I'm not using the scrubby, because this particular rock has got a bunch of bumps on it. And if I use the scrubby, I'm only going to get the tops of the bumps. Which we can do that, and I can show you what I mean here. But you still have to go back with the toothbrush and get in the holes. And now, one of the people I follow is Agate Ariel. She uses a sonic parts cleaner to do this. And I find that interesting. I don't know if it would get it any cleaner than just scrubbing it like this, but goes back to what I said earlier, that each rock tumbler, they call us rock hounders, does things a little bit different. And so with anything, take what you can use the idea. If you don't like the idea, you do something else. Some more rocks up here. I'm looking for that one particular one. See, this is how I dump out my rocks. I have a 5-gallon bucket. I put this strainer, and they tell you not to use metal strainers, but this is what I have right now. And we'll dig out some rocks here. Dig out some bigger ones. We'll do that one. Once we get through them, we'll call it a day. Here's a pretty pink one. It's almost like it's a purplish. Almost like it's got some amethyst in it. But I'm not sure because that right there is like a brownish color. Let me color this like that and show you a neat trick how you can tell if it's an agate. Take a flashlight, and if the light shines through it, see how the light shines through that? That means that's an agate. Because agates are, what do they call it, translucent. At least don't. Agates are translucent, where other types of rock are opaque. And these are all interesting. So I like rocks. Each one is different. You can get different types of agate or the same type of agate and each one be different. Get to this one that I have. Oops, I dropped it. Oh well. We will go on to this one and I will show you what sometimes happens in tumbling. I need my flashlight over here. Okay, you can see, I don't know if y'all can see that. Can you see how this was solid and it tumbled and a piece cracked out right there? And then if you look, it's got a bunch of cracks. So that whole piece is going to crack apart. So I took it out and put it off to the side because I don't want that to, oops, crack apart inside of my tumbler. I want to take it to the saw and saw along that line. That's the one that we just did. Interesting stuff. Rocks are I find rocks very interesting. Because like I said, you can have 3 different jaspers and cut them open and they're all different on the inside. Spill the water on the floor. That would make a mess. Okay, that one's done. We're getting down to the end of what we're going to do today. See how that's got that borax in them crevices. And just take the toothbrush like that. And then use I got that a little bit wet on the end. Well, son of a gun. Stuff happens. Yeah. Stuff happens. And what I'm doing here, I have the light of the window behind me, and I'm moving the rock so I can see where that film layer is. Now I'm taking a toothbrush and I'm getting that film layer off. And that one's all done. But see, you can see right there where that borax is dried on there. Borax, a lot of us guys use it because it doesn't suds up as bad as some of the others. That one's done. See, this is what I was talking about. See how that's changing colors? And when you get it wet, it changes back. And what the Brillo does, them high points, makes them shiny. It's called, oh, there's a name for it. I can't think of it right off. Burnishing. It's called burnishing. Oh, I almost lost that. Set that back there. And this is the last one we're going to do, guys and girls. And take our Brillo. And that is the last one. if you guys can see that, how that just glistens in the light. But that's what you want. And not all of them will glisten like that. So try not to get discouraged, you know, when you go through your stages. And if there's one that's like rough, run your fingers across it. If it's rough, take that and put that back and run that through step 1 again. Okay, hope that helped y'all. Bye.